If you've ever accidentally sliced up a frog with your weed eater, go ahead and hit like on this video. So there is really good money in landscaping and sod installations. And it makes you think, why wouldn't you just do all landscaping stuff and make more money? That is a valid question, and I'm going to answer the question on why we continue to do so much mowing and maintenance here in my business. So this question actually stems from one of the members in Turf Pros Academy. We chatted on the phone and he asked me, you know, what do I think is a good split for mowing and maintenance side of things versus landscaping and sod installations? I thought it was a great question. It was a very insightful question that he had asked, and he just wanted to know where we were at in my business and why we were, you know, doing things the way that we were. So first, let me tell you why we added landscaping and sod installations to our business. And then I'm going to tell you why I still mow so much and why I think you should still be mowing so much. Let's say for mowing and maintenance services, just for a general example, let's say you're profiting $2,000 a week, you know, after your expenses and everything. So, you know, you may have, that may be 50 clients or maybe 100 clients, just depending on, you know, what type of properties you're servicing. But let's just say for general, let's say you're profiting $2,000 a week for the mowing and maintenance side of things. Well, again, that takes a certain amount of volume and labor and employees to do that. And for me to grow my business, I was pretty much tapped out with the mowing and maintenance. It meant that I was going to have to add more trucks and trailers on the road. It meant that I was going to have more employees, and it meant that I was going to have to get at least as many mowing clients as I currently had, all right? And that is a lot of work to get all that done, all right? And you're sitting there kind of running the numbers and you're like, all right, what is the payoff for doing this? Contrast that with if we were to offer a landscaping service or a sod installation service, we can very easily hit $2,000 a week by just working 1 to 2 days a week. So again, think about it. You have to double the amount of mowing clients that you have to get the same amount of profit that you could by just offering an additional landscaping or sod installation service. So for me, frankly, it was the path of least resistance to add revenue and growth to our business without adding a whole lot of extra headache to what we were already doing. I can execute those projects with the staff that we currently have, which is me and 2 to 3 other guys. So we're very comfortable in what we're doing. So to answer your question, that's why we split into landscaping and sod. We had kind of tapped out on what we were doing with mowing, looking to boost revenue, and the easiest thing for us to do was to add landscaping. That being said, I want to give you 3 reasons why I still mow, why I will still continue to mow, and if you are starting a lawn care business, why I think you need to start mowing and continue to build your mowing. Number 1 is predictable cash flow, okay? The beauty of this business to me whenever I was getting going was recurring revenue. That was it. Like, it's not like for example, let's say if you have a landscaping only business or a pressure washing business or you're painting or whatever, you're constantly having to sell the next job to make ends meet. And frankly, I like being able to look at my schedule a year from now and say, you know, in October of 2024, I have $18,000 worth of mowing and maintenance services already scheduled on the books for my clients. There is just peace of mind in being able to say that. And again, if you are constantly having to sell the next job, that is a stress that I don't want. Like, I want to know that I have recurring work on the books that is scheduled. Number 2 is there is a lower cost of entry, or another way to say that is there lower barrier to entry to get into mowing than there is landscaping. If you have a truck already, all right, let me put that disclaimer out. If you have a truck, you can get a really nice mowing setup and a really nice trailer setup, everything you need to get out there and make a lot of money for less than $15,000. You really can. You can pretty much have what you need to just really go out and make it work. Contrast that, whereas if you are getting into landscaping, you really need a 3/4 ton truck, which, you know, is a 250 or a 2500. You need heavier equipment. You need dump trailers. You need double axle trailers. And really, you need some type of a skid steer. You need a mini skid, some type of a skid. You need maybe a little mini excavator or something. And then you need the attachments to go with all that stuff. I mean, very easily, you could be into $100,000 for a basic landscaping setup, all right? And in the beginning, whenever you are just getting started and you're trying to get work on the books, I think it's a horrible idea to take on a lot of debt or to spend that much cash on that type of equipment. So again, the number two is the barrier to entry is much lower in mowing, and it's easier to just get started and get making profit very quickly without a lot of debt and overhead. And number three is that if you ever plan to sell the business one day, if you plan to have somebody come in and value your company, really, you know, you can do the research on it, but having recurring maintenance work, that is extremely important to the valuation of your business. And I'm not going to sit here and misspeak and give you, you know, different percentages or how much more it values your business versus landscaping, but I will tell you that if you have an equal amount of mowing work on the books and an equal amount of landscaping work, you know, on the books, that recurring mowing maintenance stuff is worth way more to somebody looking at your business than the landscaping stuff. Again, back to point one, because it is recurring, predictable cash flow. So whenever I answered the question to the guy in Turf Pros Academy, here's what I said. He asked me what I think is a good split. And I think at least 50% of your work and your assets and your revenue needs to be tied up in the maintenance side of things, at least. I'll tell you, here at my company, we are probably closer to 70 to 80% maintenance, and then 30% to 20% landscaping and sod installs. And here is a little extra piece of advice for you. If you will learn to live on the mowing and maintenance side of things, and then just view the landscaping and those types of services as extra or icing on the cake, man, just don't let your lifestyle creep to the point where you're reliant upon everything. What I'm saying is don't let your lifestyle creep where you're dependent upon the mowing and the maintenance and the sod installs and the landscaping and everything. Like, don't do that. Set yourself up where you are set up comfortably on the maintenance side of things, and then the big ticket items are extra. That is really the nice icing on the cake.